Sound check.
Checking,
Hello.
checking, 1 2, check
1
1
2
2.
1 2. Can you hear me?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Another episode of Make the Right Play. Coach is in studio. She's here on my left. As always, back to her normal spot. She's pushing the table all over the place. Can't figure it out in the wheelchair action going on here. We got Yabui behind the camera, though, making everything sound great for us, making everything work for us. Shout out Yabui and Yabui Media for all your media needs in the Pensacola area. Yabui Media is the man. And Coach, you're in studio today. You're out of the bed. How you feeling? Give us a little health update. And I know we all want to hear about the health advocate too, so let us know what's going on here.
Well, it's been a rough week and a half. I'm a week and a half out of surgery, but you know what? The good Lord was inspiring me to come out and tell the truth. So I am ready. You
come
can
out
feel
and
it,
tell
Carlos.
the truth,
The big
Coach.
lies are being exposed.
The big lies. You're all fired up about these big lies. I know we're going to get to it and talk about what exactly the big lies
There's
are.
so many lies. You don't even know which lie I could be talking about. You're like, which lie is she even talking about?
It could be
There's
anything.
So many lies. They're like all over the place.
There's just lies
swat 'em
everywhere,
away,
Coach.
You know? But the veil is falling and the truth is starting to come out. And I am so excited to see, because I could feel the shift in the universe.
You could feel the shift.
I
All right.
feel
Well,
the
listen,
shift.
we got a lot of stuff we got to cover, and a lot of these big lies that you want to talk about. But first off, I mean, we have to congratulate Olivia Villa,
Yes.
graduating the 8th grade today. Shout out Ferry Pass Middle School, and she graduated 8th grade. She's off to Pensacola High School IB program. Very excited for Olivia.
I literally spent half the day crying today.
Half the day? That's not true. False.
I
Throw the
was
flag.
crying
Throw
a
the
lot. I
flag.
was crying this morning when I was getting ready to go to her graduation.
Yep.
And then the promotion ceremony, I started crying again there today, because I have to say it was a very emotional day. I'm so proud of her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we came here after the COVID lockdowns, and she was really at a severe disadvantage because she was really behind the other kids in Florida.
How could she be so behind coming from the great state of Connecticut with the best public school system?
Let me tell
How
you,
does that
she
happen?
was so far behind. And
Far behind.
we actually had to have a lot of conversations, and we talked to the pediatrician, and we decided to leave her back so that way she would redo a year, because she was still at the 4th grade level where she was when the lockdown started. So Olivia today had to stand up and be acknowledged by everyone for some great things that she did. Between her computer class, winning the basketball district championship, the
Two-time
Lady
champs.
Eagles.
Two-time champs,
Two-time
Lady
champs.
Eagles. Two-time champ, Lady Eagles.
You know, being an honor roll student, I mean, she went from having D's to straight A student, and I am so proud of her. Let's show a picture of her.
Let's show a picture of her. Let's show Olivia walking across the stage here. This was a very exciting day. Let's show clip 14 here. This was awesome.
Olivia.
And Principal Soraya Miller, the best.
Yes, the best Principal Soraya Mill. And there she is in front of her 2 championship banners. Not one, but 2
Yes.
championship banners.
That's my girl.
There it is. There's Bad Newborn. Celebrating her big accomplishments.
I'm so proud of her. I really am so proud of her.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I'm very happy for her too. She did a great job. Especially you could see the change from even towards the end of the 7th grade into 8th grade, and then how dedicated she was to making sure that not only was she the best athlete, but a phenomenal student. So it was great. It was awesome to see. I thought really fantastic.
Well, the other thing that's also been kind of tough is that we've been dieting, right? Because I want to try to get in good shape.
Yep.
So I had a very bad headache this morning.
Yes.
You know,
you did have a bad headache.
That diet headache where there's nothing worse than going through sugar withdrawal. So over the Easter vacation, I was eating Reese's peanut butter cups like they were going out of style. I mean, honestly. So then, like the last,
You were crushing the bowl of candy. Yeah.
I was crushing
It was
those. If
abusive.
there was a peanut butter egg, I was finding it and I was eating it.
Yep.
So I haven't had one in about a week, and I was suffering just from that.
Right.
But now that I've been dieting for a few days, the
Yep.
sugar addiction is real. And it's like, I hear like, I'll just have some sugar and a cup of coffee,
God.
just 1 teaspoon, please. I'll take anything.
Some
and I'm
sugar.
just like, no more sugar. So I have that horrible headache.
Yeah.
So what happens after the graduation? Olivia's like, I'm going to go to Outback Steakhouse.
Outback Steakhouse was the pick. Yeah, that was the pick.
So what am I going to do? You have to celebrate the little things in life. And I remember my trainer always saying, Leesan, it's a lifestyle. So if there's a special occasion.
But I mean, in all reality, you weren't really that bad. You got a steak and
Yeah, I had a
rice
steak.
and a sweet potato. That's all Arbonne friendly.
And I had a coconut
Yeah.
shrimp.
So the only bad thing that you had was alcohol.
I had some alcohol.
That was
and then
it.
don't forget the chocolate
And
thunder from down under
the chocolate
to
thunder
celebrate.
from down under from Shout Out Outback. Yeah, other than that, but you had a pretty healthy meal.
I have to say, I feel great though.
Yeah.
It's like, here I am eating
Yeah,
so
we're back.
unhealthy and I feel fantastic.
That's right. See, so not too bad.
But you know what? I have to say something very interesting happened to me. And I'm going to share this
was
with everybody.
wildly interesting.
So, we're sitting around, we're talking, and an evangelist today approached me. So, first of all, what is an evangelist? Because the person said, I'm an evangelist. So I Googled it, and it says a person who seeks to convert others to the Christian faith, especially by public preaching, to the writer of one of the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. Doing the work of an evangelist means the one who proclaims glad tidings. So this woman comes up to me, she goes, I'm an evangelist. And she says to me, she goes, Jesus spoke to me and asked for me to come up to you. So I look her right in the eye because I said, this could be good or this could be bad. So let me look her in the eye, really look her in the eye and see, because they say that eyes are the windows of the soul. Yep. So I'm like, I'm really going to look her in the eye and see like what I get from her spirit. She had very trustworthy eyes, I have to say. So my spirit said, okay, it's all right. Just listen to her. So she goes, Jesus wants me to tell you, he has only made one of you, and he can't wait to spend eternity with you. And I have to say again, I started crying right there.
Full breakdown, yeah.
I'm crying again at lunch.
Yep.
The lady disappears. And I have to tell you guys, I love Jesus so much. And that's all I want. In all honesty, that's all I want is to be able to spend eternity with him. And it just made me feel so good. I'm sorry. I'm going to try not to cry again.
Yeah, the emotions are coming out here.
Yeah, but...
Pull it together. This is Newsmax. Pull it together here. This is a professional show.
I worry about going into the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
I do. You know why? Because I have a big mouth. I do. I have a big mouth. I use profanity.
That's all right.
I'm not
so did Jesus
perfect.
Christ.
So this made me feel good. Like Jesus knows that one thing is I may have a big mouth, but I feel like I'm a truth teller.
Yes,
and
you are.
And I call it how I see it.
You
and even
definitely
if
are.
it's not popular, I'm still going to tell the truth. So, they say that the truth shall set you free. And apparently I feel like Jesus approves of what I'm doing. So
listen, I think Jesus
today.
does approve. Even though I will say, I'm sure he's a little hurt that his little cross isn't out here front and center.
I literally just thought of that.
I was like,
and I was like, I have to get my
cross
for
isn't
Jesus.
there. That's an unbelievable move here by you, Coach, just after fresh off of talking to an evangelist.
Listen, I'm still recovering. Jesus understands.
Jesus understands. And listen, let me tell you something right now. If we got the real versions of those gospels, I'm telling you, there would be some uncensored language going on between those 12 disciples walking around.
It would be very interesting.
And 12 guys, they were tossing around words. It was getting intense. There was some locker room banter going on, and there was long walks across the desert. But listen, I think that was a really special moment, I have to say, when that woman just came and walked right up to you and immediately just tapped you on the shoulder. And you know what was so interesting too was she was there eating alone. It's not like she was there on a date or there hanging out. Like she went to that restaurant after we had already been there. She was eating alone. And then just came right up to you and was like, yeah, I had to, it was almost like, what's that song? What if God was one of us? It was such a precious moment. Just to come up to you. So I thought that was pretty cool that she was there. What's up, Nikki? I see you've arrived in the chat. Nikki Carr is here with us. Awesome. We appreciate you being in the chat. But yeah, no, I think that was really interesting, the way that she just came right up to you. That was something else.
Well, Carlos, it's one thing that I always try to stick to is the truth.
Yeah.
And Jesus, they say, is the truth, right? Mm-hmm. And I have to say, the things that I have been seeing lately is really speaking to my spirit. Seeing Trump in the Middle East really shook me. I have never seen so much mutual respect between the United States and the Arabs.
Yeah.
Honestly, my whole life, I have never seen it. When I was 5 years old, I remember seeing a picture of the Ayatollah and being terrified. So to see those two worlds come together and there be this mutual respect where they even called Trump president of the world gives me some hope that maybe we're not going to, end up killing each other.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I absolutely would agree. I think, I think we've talked about it on the show before, and I know we've talked about it in private. But, with the Arab nations and the Arab world, it's very hard to differentiate because you have, in reality, in the Arab world, you have two different worlds.
Yeah.
There's two different worlds. And he went and the Saudis embraced him and they were like, we can't wait to work together. We can't wait to do this. We can't wait to do that. And that was wonderful. But let me tell you right now, he's not pulling up to Iran and getting that type of welcome. The Iranians aren't working. So, you have those two different sides of the coin with the Arab worlds. But I will say it's very encouraging when you have big allies like Saudi Arabia, like, you have big allies over there. The United Emirates, they want to be rich too. They want to keep working with everybody. So I think it's a good sign.
You know what the difference is too? There's a difference between people who want to build things and create things
100%.
and make things beautiful. And when you have people who just want to destroy everything.
Yep.
And those Saudis and at the United Emirates, those people,
Right.
and they want to create things, and they want everybody to be wealthy, and they want people to be prosperous, right?
Exactly.
And that's the difference between the people who just want to break stuff.
Yeah, and the sand people.
Well, Trump's approval rating's through the roof now. He's up to
he's lighting up.
55%. And what does the former head of the FBI send out on social media?
This is one of those stories, Coach, that is just like, I don't know what's going on here. You get fired up over this sort of thing, and I know your proud girls get fired up over this sort of thing. This seems like a nothing burger. I'm getting a little bit of a nothing burger here.
Puts out a picture 8647.
It's smelling like a nothing burger.
We're supposed to believe that Comey, I think this is a lie, that Comey was just walking down the beach and sees 8647 beautiful seashells in the seashore. And then he goes, I didn't know what 86 meant. Everybody knows what 86 means.
He said on Colbert that his wife posted it.
He's a liar.
On his social media.
Break.
That it was his wife. Colbert said, Comey said that
this
with Colbert.
Guy is a serial liar, okay? In 2018, he testified under oath about Hillary Clinton's emails, about the Russian hoax, and you know what he said?
What did he say,
I don't know. Over 236 times. I don't know. If he has such a bad memory, how's he able to write so many books?
He's writing a lot of books lately.
He writes a lot of books about his experience, but he remembers nothing. A liar.
I'm telling you, I think it's a little bit of a nothing burger.
No, Trump got shot in the head. Okay? He got shot in the head. And let me tell you something. That guy is putting out the word. Could somebody else get out there and 8647, please?
8647.
Because they don't want peace. These people are demonic.
Yeah.
All right? So Trump gets a little bit pissed off, you could tell. So what he's sending a new $400 million plane that he just got as a gift for the United States of
officially
America.
taking the plane today.
Good
it came
for
in and announced,
him.
officially taking the plane.
Good for him. The
That's
United
right.
States has taken many gifts. We can take a plane, okay?
Listen, if they give you a free putt, you take the putt.
Exactly.
You take the stroke, right?
You know?
That's what
We've
Trump said.
taken many gifts, so give me a break. So
Right.
he's in the plane, and he tweets the video, and you got to show this video that he
All right,
tweets
we're going to
out.
show this video. This is an interesting. Now, this is only part of the video. The video in itself is about 2 minutes long. This is only a part of it. Let's show clip 8 here.
John F. Kennedy Jr. He was declared the front-runner for the New York Senate seat back in 1999. Days later, his plane crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, and his rival, Hillary Clinton, was elected senator. Mary Mahoney was a Clinton White House intern. She knew enough of the inner workings of Bill's sexual advancements to be a star witness during the Clinton impeachment trials. She was brutally executed at a Starbucks she was managing in 1997. In 1993, White House counsel Vince Foster was found dead in Fort Marcy Park near D.C. He supposedly killed himself, and among a lengthy list of potential foul play, the bullet was never found.
Come on, Carlos.
What do you
think
think about
those
that?
are just coincidences?
Listen, I think they're just coincidences. No, I'm just kidding. Hillary's a murderer. All right, let's just get that. Everybody knows that the Clintons kill people. That's like just common knowledge now. Allegedly, right. We don't know no rock hard evidence, but they're
Comey
killers.
needs
They're
to
killers.
get arrested and go to jail, okay? You cannot threaten the president of the United States. They need to arrest his ass and throw him in prison.
8647,
Yes,
Coach. That's what. Listen, it could be a
you
phone
go
number.
To jail. You threaten the president, you go to prison. If any of us threaten somebody like that, especially the president of the United States, it's an actual law.
Right.
You could get arrested and serve 5 years in prison.
Yeah.
No one is above the law. This
No
guy
one
has
is above
lied
the
for
law,
the Clintons.
Coach.
The Clintons have killed a lot of people. No, I'm done. And let me tell you, Trump better watch it because he's not just on Hillary's kill list. Did you see that meeting today with the president of South Africa? Holy smoke.
Wow. Yeah, that South African presidential meeting. This is a story that is getting absolutely no media attention whatsoever.
Well, if they do, they spin
whatsoever. I mean, but how can you spin it? Listen, guys, for those who don't know what's going on in South Africa right now, the whites are getting slaughtered in South Africa. They are slaughtering the white people in South Africa. South Africa is one of the most racist nations on the face of the earth, still to this day. No doubt about it. The whites hate the blacks hate the whites. It's a total race war. The whites did a lot of effed up things, for lack of a better term. I know, sorry, I know we're Newsmax, I can't say that. They did a lot of bad things in their day.
Yes.
And and now the blacks have come home to what's up. They're laying the beatings down.
No, what they're doing is evil.
Yeah, they're slaughtering the whites.
Okay,
It's
why don't we
complete
show
slaughter.
a video?
Should we show
Yes.
the video of
Yes.
what Trump was saying? All right, let's show clip 15 here. This is a good clip.
Lights down, turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you. Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no
can see the
permission
president. He's like,
from
"Are you
you,
really showing
from the
this?"
president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you
See,
want
President
to do. Who are you to
Ramaphosa
tell
is
us
on
what
video
to
saying he
occupy
wants to
land
seize
or
land
not?
from
We are
people
going
he
to
doesn't
occupy
consider
land.
our people
South
and give them zero
Africans
compensation.
occupy land.
Yep.
That's what he's saying in the video. And he's also, there are other people calling for the murder of the Africans. I think that's what they call them, right? The Africans. And Trump doesn't play games behind closed doors. He puts the truth on the table for the world to see.
Good narration over the video there, Coach.
Because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill Gaza. Kill the poor, the farmers.
Look at that video.
They're dancing. What are they singing?
They're singing that they're gonna go claim that they're gonna go take that land.
Yeah.
Is what they're singing. They're gonna go take that land. Listen, I mean, and the best was the when he tries to backpedal. After they show the video, he tries to backpedal and he's like, "Oh no, we don't support that. We don't want to have that." And the Trump response right after is awesome. We got to show this clip right after that. Let's go
Fantastic.
Let's go clip 16 because the response to him backtracking is great.
Language in the video that you saw.
Oh yes, we've always done so. As government, as my own party, we are completely opposed to that. We, in 1955, adopted a document which said South Africa belongs to all who live in it.
But why wouldn't you arrest that man? That man said, kill the white farmers, kill the white farmers. And then he danced, and he's dancing, and it's kill the white farmers. I'm not sure, but I think if somebody got up in Parliament and started saying kill a certain group of people, he would be arrested very quickly. That man is going all over South Africa, and that's not a small party. That was a stadium that holds 100,000 people, and I hardly saw an empty seat. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of representation. And those crosses, we have dead white people, dead white farmers, mostly. And you take a look at Australia, they're being inundated, and we're being inundated with people that want to get out.
Right.
Listen, Trump shuts it down with the facts.
Yep.
On camera,
Yep.
real time,
Right.
no spin, no secrecy.
Yep.
Evil likes to operate in the shadows, and
Yeah.
that's why they hate Trump.
Yep.
Okay? That's why they hate him.
100%. And let me tell you, we're taking in South African asylum seekers in Alabama, of all places.
I heard that's the perfect place to put those.
I heard they're fitting in quite nicely in northern Alabama.
I saw somebody tweeted they came right off the plane and joined the KKK the same day.
Listen, the South Africans are known racists.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's.
And who knows? That could just be propaganda because the media lies and spins everything, okay?
It's not.
I mean, they even tried to say that Trump ambushed the president of South Africa by playing a video montage of South African leaders calling for white genocide. They don't want to talk about the fact that the South African leaders called for white genocide.
Right.
They
That
just
doesn't
want to
matter.
talk about how Trump ambushed this guy by showing him the truth. How dare he?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, these people support hate.
Yeah.
They support hate. And Jesus says, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
Right.
And this is the consequence of not forgiving these people. What their ancestors did was evil. I'm not going to sit here and try to justify what those colonialists did 400 years ago in South Africa. It's disgusting.
Right.
But the thing is that we can't say that you have to have equal rights and then pretend that people can't be equally evil.
Yeah.
Equal rights means equal responsibilities, equal rights. We have to have the truth, be the truth, and call out the lies. And what Donald Trump did is why he has a 55% approval rating.
Yeah.
This is why the people in the country
flies
appreciate
all
what
over
he's
me.
doing.
Yeah.
Why? What's the matter?
No, I've just got this flies all over me right now. Some BS.
It's the lies. The
It's the lies.
lies are,
Yeah, they're flying
the
around.
lies are like
The lies are
flies.
flying
They're
around with like
everywhere.
flies. But no, you're 100% right. And I hate the BS. Like what about what happened 400 years ago? Now it's time. It's like no. It's 400 years ago. You got to let it go. You got to let it go, Coach.
You cannot
It's time to
keep
let it go.
punishing people.
It's time.
And, it's just like that's the past. Have we learned from the past? Are we going to be better?
Right.
Or are we going to repeat history by saying, okay, you did it to us, so now we're going to do it to you?
Yeah.
And let me tell you, we could play that tit for tat going back thousands of years. It's
Mm-hmm.
terrible. But you know what? Like I say, what are you pretending not to know?
Yeah.
What are you pretending not to know? You know those people are being awful to the white Africans.
Right.
You know they're running for their lives. You know they killed over 1,000 farmers. Can we just support giving them a chance to live a life? Mm-hmm. And if Trump wants to pull that guy on the carpet and tell him the truth right to his face, right in front of everybody, why can't we support that?
Right.
What is wrong with that?
He's calling it out. He's calling it as it is. He's saying straight up, this is what's going on. You're clearly supporting it because you're not arresting this guy. You're not speaking out against this guy. He was in the parliament, supporting it in parliament. He's calling him out. And he's saying this cannot be happening. This has to end. We cannot have this type of thing in the United States, or not in the United States, in the world. We
Right.
can't have this in the world.
And it's the truth. But you know what I thought was so funny? Is Trump called somebody else out on the carpet this week.
No, he called a lot of people out.
Trump here. Let's show this video of Trump making his way to Congress to make sure people are
Oh,
working.
all right.
You gotta
Let's
this.
show this video to make sure things are going in the right direction here. Let's see. Clip 6. This is a good one right here. On his way.
Tiffany, final thoughts here.
Yes, this is all part of President Trump's big vision, and he has done his part. So now this is Congress's opportunity to step up for the American people. I know out on Main Street, entrepreneurs, small business owners are sort of holding their breath. This is an opportunity for the most
So here he
pro-business
comes.
and pro-worker tax bill.
He's pulling up to Congress. Here he is, because he's not happy with how things are going. So he's like, I got to go down there myself, and I got to make sure things are moving along, because things are not working out as they seem.
Well, you know, it's funny because when I was little, I didn't grow up in a house and we didn't have a car.
Right.
But if you heard that elevator coming up, you knew like, mom's ready to walk through the door and she's going to lay down the law. And Trump was heading over there to lay down the law. Like it was like, let's go.
It's true.
So let's
It's
discuss
true.
show some of the videos.
All right, so let's show some of the videos. So first things first, right? Everybody knows about Mr. Biden's cancer, right? That's the big news, is that Biden got cancer. So we got to talk about the fact that, you know, he's dealing with the medical issue, and who is running the country? Who is signing the documents, you know, making things happen? So he's asking on the Congress floor, he's like, who's running the auto pen? Who's signing the auto pen? So we got to show this first here when he's asking about the auto pen. Who is running the show? And let's see, that's clip 3. Let's show clip 3.
I thought we were going to talk about the bill.
Which bill is that?
The big bill with no tax on
Well,
tips.
we have
like
no
the
clips
reason
about
why-
the big bill. We don't have any clips about the big bill.
Oh, I thought
No,
we had
it
a clip
wasn't-
about him talking
no.
about the budget. The whole point of him going down there was to get the budget passed. Do you know no tax on tips?
I know no
that
tax on
was the
tips.
whole point of him going there.
Yeah.
Because he needed to get
Yeah,
some
but-
Republicans back in line.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the thing is that there are uniparty evil people. It doesn't matter if you're a
Yep.
Democrat, doesn't matter if you're a Republican. They're in the uniparty.
Yep.
So he had to go there and be like, get in line.
Right.
Okay? We need to pass this bill. We need to help the American people. We
Yep.
want no tax on tips. We want no tax on Social Security. If it's up to me, I don't want to tax people making up to $200,000 a year.
Yep.
I want them not to have taxes.
Right.
We got to cut some of the spending. He was there to lay down the law.
Yep.
And Mike Johnson looked like a little bitch.
Let's show
standing
clip
next to him.
7. Let's show clip 7.
Say it. I'm a fiscal hawk. I'm a bigger fiscal hawk. There's nobody like me as a fiscal hawk.
Massey said this adds more deficit than Biden did, and this bill kind of...
Because we have to fix the country.
Do you think that Thomas Massey is correct in saying that this is adding Biden level
No, I don't
spending?
think Thomas Massey understands government. I think he's a grandstander, frankly. He'll probably vote. We don't even talk to him much. I think he should be voted out of office. And I just don't think he understands government. If you ask him a couple of questions, he never gives you an answer. He just says, I'm a no. He thinks he's going to get publicity. And you have that. You have that. They've got some too. Go ahead.
The best is Mike Johnson's just like, yeah, Daddy had to come home and put some people in line. And the other woman's like, thank God you're here. You know, like when you have that one kid who's so happy when there was like, thank God some order is going to be back. Like you always have that one kid who's so happy. And then see Mike Johnson's like, he looks so depressed just standing there.
That's true.
And it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But you know what? Trump tells the truth. So like you said, let's talk about how he's in charge. So he's showing up, trying to get everybody in line.
Right. And Biden was not in charge. Let's show clip 3.
Operating the auto pen. This is a very serious thing. We had a president that didn't sign anything. He auto pen almost everything. He opened the borders of the United States of America. And I kept saying, who would do such a thing? Allowing criminals to pour in from all over the world. No sane person would sign it. You know who signed it? Radical left lunatics that were running our country. And the auto pen signed it. Remember what I said, the auto pen. This government was illegally run for 4 years. Thank you.
Well, that's the biggest thing, is that the government was not ran by the president over the last 4 years. It was ran by somebody else. He was not medically fit. We know that. It's very clear that he was not medically fit. And we need to know who was running the country. Why have we not figured out who was running the country yet? That's what bothers me.
Carlos, we used to say it on the show all the time. Who is running the country? Who is behind Joe Biden? Well, now we see that Jake Tapper is pretending to not have known that Joe Biden was senile during his presidency. I almost said pregnancy. During his presidency. Right. But what's worse now is that it's revealed that Joe Biden has prostate cancer and that it spread to his bones.
Yeah, it has. Apparently, magically, it spread to his bones because you just get cancer and it's automatically stage 5, apparently.
Well, from what I understand, and I'm going to come out and say it, I don't believe Joe Biden's lying. I think that it's from the COVID vaccine. What do you think about that?
It's not from the COVID vaccine.
I do. I believe that.
It's not from the COVID
because
vaccine.
there are a lot of people who they go to the doctor, they're fine, then all of a sudden they have like stage 4 cancer.
No,
and it's serious.
I've never heard of that before. That they just go to the doctor all of a sudden and it's automatically stage 4.
Yeah,
no,
they
this
say
is
it's from the boosters.
You get a check. Every year, you get a check as the president of the United States. You're consistently being checked on by doctors. There's no way that all of a sudden, being consistently checked by doctors all the time, you automatically get stage 5 cancer. That's bullshit. That's not true. They knew he had cancer. They knew he was sick. They knew he had dementia. They knew he had this. They knew he had that, and they covered it up. It's all a cover-up. Everything is a cover-up. Everything the Democrats do, they're covering up some bullshit that they did somewhere else. It's all a lie. Everything they do is a lie. And this was just another example of another cover-up. How does Dr. Joe Biden not know that that her husband's prostate is inflamed?
So you're saying that Joe Biden's wife, all his handlers, they all believe that they could hide his illnesses?
Yes, because they did. They did think that they could all hide his illnesses until they couldn't. When they had to roll him up on the debate stage and say, "Get out there, old man," and he looked like a piece of shit. So 5 people got in a room and said, "We're going to go with Kamala Harris because this guy's out." And they stuck him on the helicopter and they said, "See you later." And now all of a sudden he has stage 5 cancer. That just doesn't happen. That just doesn't magically happen. And he's been getting boosters for years, and like that just doesn't.
Well, he
has had no. The boosters did not just start.
They just started.
The boosters started.
No,
right? Yeah, 2021. We're 2025.
No,
that's 4 years ago. That's 4 years ago.
No,
that's
but
4 years ago.
Is the first shot. Then 2022, 20. So it's
2023,
then
then 2024. Yeah, it's been 4 years. 2025. We're in May of 2025. It's been 4 years since the COVID vaccine and COVID boosters have came out. This didn't just magically happen. He's had cancer for years, and they just didn't give a shit. And they let this guy just roll around and die because he wasn't really running the country anyway. He was a face. He was a prop. They prop him up there every time they needed him, and that was it.
Well, listen.
He even came out and said he had cancer.
Let's see that.
He even came out and said, he was like, "And I have cancer."
Prove it, as Papa would say.
Clip 11.
And because it was a 4-lane highway, that was accessible. My mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil
What a
slick off the
shithole
window.
Delaware is. Oh my God.
That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why can't, for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
Highest cancer rate in the nation.
Well,
Cancer City.
So you're saying that because they knew that the legacy media and all the American people who had TDS would go along with believing anything just as long as it went against Trump and his agenda, right?
They really believed that he was a full mind, sound body, and everything. They thought he was fine. They had every bit
Well,
of
somebody
confidence in
had
him.
to know he wasn't fine.
No, yes. They all knew that he wasn't fine. It was their whole party knew that he wasn't fine. But it was anybody. We just need a face up there that we could prop up and have him stand like he's alive. And that was what it was. He was a prop. He was a prop for whoever was operating the auto pen and whoever, like he's a facade. He's a fake.
Well, I have to say,
I agree, Nikki. I think he died a long time ago. I think he's a bot. He's a robot.
well, listen, shame on them. Because if he was sick that whole time and they were hiding it from the American people, shame on them. But I have to say, I feel terrible that Joe Biden has cancer. And I know everybody thinks it's a cover up, but I really do believe it's from the COVID vaccine. I do. And I think that the vaccine is killing people. But let's see what Mike Benz says.
Yeah, let's see what Mike Benz said. Mike Benz. Oh, Yale University Mike Benz? Yes, Yale University Mike Benz. Clip 18.
Different messages they tested 9 months before a COVID vaccine was even available at Yale University, the CIA supercenter at the end of the university world. Then it asked the participant to imagine the guilt they would feel if they don't get vaccinated and spread the disease. Fucking Yale University, the hairy armpit of the Central Intelligence Agency. 9 months before there even fucking is a vaccine.
Another swear.
To imagine the guilt they will feel if they don't. And meanwhile, they were pre-testing safety and safe and effective. There hadn't even been one. There was no vaccine at that point. In July 2020. The first one wasn't even announced until 4 months later and wasn't available until 9 months later. But the drilling and safe and effective, you don't even have one yet. You're not even through the basic testing phase. Guilt message. Is guilt more powerful than economics? And
I have to say, coming from Connecticut, that was their psyop. It was guilt, embarrassment, anger, and trust the science. Those were the talking points, okay?
That was.
And you know what? I trust Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. That's the only person I trust. And I was raised by a family to put everything in God's hands.
Yeah.
So you better believe I never bought that bullshit, okay?
Right.
I never did.
Yeah.
And I saw it, and I swear, living in Connecticut, we lived about 20 minutes from Yale, honestly.
Yeah.
Where we lived in Connecticut.
Easily.
And I always felt like they were doing MK Ultra stuff and doing little psyops on all the people in those towns to see if they just go along with the program.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And the thing is, I honestly think that when Joe Biden was like, this is going to be a season of death, a winter of death for all the people who don't get vaccinated. The winter of death for all the people who don't get vaccinated.
Yep.
And actually, you know what happened, Joe? It's a season of
You know what
death
happened,
for you.
Joe? You got
because
prostate
you
cancer,
took the COVID
bitch.
vaccine, and I blame the vaccine. That's
blame
what
the
I
vaccine.
think. Well, let's see what Scott Adams says.
I don't. All right, let's show Scott Adams.
Well, listen, Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert, announced that he has prostate cancer that spread to his bones, and he only has weeks or months to live. Okay.
Yes. Right. No. Yes. And we're gonna show Dilbert. And I just want to say, I'm not disagreeing with the fact that the COVID vaccine and the boosters that follow it don't cause bad medical effects. I don't disagree about that.
I think it causes cancer, and I think
wouldn't be
killing
surprised
people.
if it had some bit to do with the cancer. I'm not disagreeing with what caused the cancer. I'm just saying it doesn't just magically pop up and happen. You don't just magically get stage 5 cancer. It has to gradually grow in your body and get there. It doesn't just magically come out of nowhere. But I'm just saying that it was all a big lie. It was all a big cover up. They knew he was sick. They knew he wasn't sound body and mind. He was not fit to be president, and they propped him up there anyway and said, "You're just the poster boy. We're going to run the show." Just like Scott said, Obama was too. Same way. Dad said it. Dad said it in the chat. Obama was the same way. He was a little prop bitch, and like that's what's up. That's what happened, Coach. They propped him up. They knew that he was no good, that he was sick. And that's what happened.
That he got sick with cancer from the COVID vaccine. But let's see what Scott Adams says.
All right,
he just got sick.
Clip 11.
It
Clip
magically
11.
happened to him too.
Or clip 12. Sorry about that. Clip 12.
I'm going to tell you that the anti-vaxxers appear to be right. Somebody who did not get vaccinated, got a little Omicron, or maybe even a worse one, but recovered. Now you've got natural immunity, and you have no vaccination in you. Can we all agree that that was the winning path? The smartest, happiest people are the ones who didn't get the vaccination and are still alive. I want to make sure that I'm not leaving any wiggle room for myself. Have I? Have I said as clearly as possible they're the happy ones right now? And
100%.
have a reason to be completely.
Yeah,
100%. 100% have the reason to have the reason to be happy, and I'm not disagreeing with that. Yes, you have the vaccine was a problem, and that's not. I'm not disagreeing. I mean, look at how many athletes have gotten sick.
He has the same thing, Carlos. He has prostate cancer, and it went right to his bones. The same exact thing that happened to Joe Biden happened to him.
You don't just
So is that another
automatically get
coincidence?
stage 5.
Is that another
Maybe he
coincidence?
doesn't go to the doctor.
You see, but this is the problem. When you lie all
Maybe he
the
doesn't
time,
go to the
people don't
doctor.
believe you. So he's saying, I just found out I have prostate cancer, and it's serious. Everybody says, you're a liar. You had it for years, and you just hid it from everyone. Right?
He said
because
he had
he's such a
cancer.
liar. But then you have this guy, the creator Dilbert, saying the same thing happened to him. Prostate cancer went straight to his bones. The same exact thing. I'm
doesn't
telling
just
you that
magically
COVID
happen.
vaccine. Well, listen, how can you explain how the CDC and FDA are now exploring a risk-based approach for future vaccine recommendations, potentially limiting routine annual shots to only high-risk groups? You have to be 65-year-olds and plus. You have to be immunized, compromised. And you have to have specific risk factors like being a healthcare worker or have chronic conditions. So rather than the current universal recommendation for everyone 6 months old and over, no more COVID vaccines for the general population. I'm telling you, Carlos, this is just the beginning. We're going to be hearing a lot more about this freakish prostate and the freakish bone cancer. I'm serious. I'm not even kidding you.
The freakish prostate, Coach.
Everybody says that he knew the whole time. And I honestly don't think so. I honestly believe that he did not know he had cancer, that he did just get prostate and bone cancer.
In his defense, he probably didn't know that he had cancer, but he totally
think they
had
hid it
cancer.
from him?
Yeah, probably. I mean, the guy was not fit. Like, he was clearly
He
an
wasn't
idiot.
fit. I
He
mean,
was a
senile,
vegetable,
I
for
totally
Christ's sake.
agree.
He was a total veggie up there. He was a total vegetable. Like, you saw him and you were like, there's nothing going on in that head. Zero.
And the thing is, they kept lying, saying he was the sharpest man in the room.
Right.
That they would go meet with him
100%.
and he was the sharpest man in the room. And that's the problem, Carlos.
Yes.
Now,
It's a
like
cover-up.
they lie so much that you don't know what the truth is. Somebody
Yeah.
could say, Carlos is 100% right. He had cancer the whole time and he didn't know it. Or Leesan's 100% right. There are people who are all of a sudden getting stage 4 cancer that comes out of nowhere. We can't explain it. No one will know the truth because these people operate in the shadows.
Right.
And they have been spreading chaos and confusion all the time.
Yeah.
Like the safe and effective bullshit.
You just swore. You just swore. We're not going to be on Newsmax anymore. We're not professional enough. It's distasteful. But I agree with you, Dad. Scott Villa, I think the vax causes heart attacks too. 100%. I think Damar Hamlin, what happened to Damar Hamlin is a direct correlation to the vaccine. I would like to see that tested. A perfectly fit NFL safety drops dead in the middle of the game and dies on the field. That hasn't happened. Has that ever happened before, Damar Hamlin? That a player just drops dead in the middle of a pro NFL game?
No.
Like he just dies? Like that doesn't happen. So I seriously think that the vaccine caused a lot of health issues. Look at LeBron's son. The great Bronny James collapses, dies, and has to be brought back to life at USC. Plays maybe 10 college games. Now he's a pro. Hashtag LeBron. But I mean, like I think that's correlation to the vaccine. Now, I do think that maybe some of the things in the vaccine helped cause Joe Biden's cancer. I wouldn't be surprised about that. But I just doubt that all of a sudden 2 days ago, he found out that he has stage 5 cancer out of nowhere, and it just populated. And what's up?
He found out when Jake Tapper started to promote the book, exposing him for his dementia, which is also kind of, convenient timing as well. Let's be honest.
Well, Jake Tapper's an asshole.
But I wish I could just say that the COVID lies stop there. But even Andrew Cuomo is being exposed for lying to Congress and putting people with COVID into old age homes, allowing it to spread and killing thousands of the elderly.
Yeah.
And now this jackass thinks he can go and run for New York.
Run for mayor,
Yeah,
coach.
go run for mayor
Run
in New
for
York.
mayor of the city. Front runner.
Oh my gosh, you have to play that video.
All right, let's play the video of Cuomo. Look cool as a cucumber over there because he's not afraid of his little brother.
He knows how to lie under pressure.
That's right. Clip 10 here.
Governor Cuomo, what do you make of the accusation that the committee is making that you withheld some records during the course of their investigation?
It's all baloney, as we would say in New York.
It's all baloney.
Phony baloney.
Difference from the transcribed interview earlier in June today?
Thank you for signing my bill, Mr. Cuomo. Marcella.
Look, now he just ignores the guy.
Sir, we're going to drop you immunity.
Look, Cuomo's another guy who perjured himself multiple times and hid records from the committee.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
He is responsible for the death of thousands of the elderly in those homes. Honestly, those nursing home patients, he can take credit for all of them.
Yeah.
And you know what I find interesting is that Donald Trump, when he was president back then, sent him a Navy ship. Do you remember that Navy ship, the USNS Comfort?
Yep.
And he barely utilized it.
Yeah.
90%, 500 of its beds went unused. Nobody went in there. All while he's busy shipping sick people out to the nursing homes.
Yeah.
Okay? And elderly people were the most risk at the population.
Right. We had to shut the whole country down just for the elderly.
For the old people, remember?
For the old bags.
And just what Mike Pence is saying, how do we get people to have guilt? If you don't get the shot, you could be, hurting
You could kill your grandmother. Yeah. You
like
can
it
kill
was
your
all
grandmother.
this huge mental game. But the one thing we could all agree on is that the elderly were the most at risk. Okay?
Right.
So I don't know how he gets away with it.
Yeah.
And honestly, instead of running for New York City mayor, he should go work for the Mexican Navy.
It seems that the Mexican Navy will hire anybody after this debacle running into the Brooklyn Bridge. I could have believed this.
That was such a shocking story.
This
when I
was
saw
just
that,
unbelievable. I thought you were lying when you told me what was going on.
I
thought it was another one of
you
the
were
fake.
like, what? Give me. But you have to see the video of this.
Yeah,
this is a great video.
This was just unbelievable. We got to show this here. The boat crash, clip 5.
What is going on?
What is going on?
Look at that mother and like the complete burqa, whatever, running. She's like a blob. You don't even see her face, just running.
Oh my God.
2 people died, 17 injured.
Look at that.
You hear the music? No, because the boat's playing the music.
Oh.
It's just awful. And the first thing your father says to me, how's the bridge?
That was my concern, too.
I mean, this is the Mexican Navy. This is the Mexican Navy.
That is just unbelievable.
Just crashes right into, and it's so funny because they said the bridge is fine.
Yeah, well, the
Nothing
bridge.
happened to the bridge. The bridge is perfectly fine. Everything is okay.
Look at that.
But I think they were at Pier 17 getting trashed.
You think they got fucked up?
I think they were drinking and they were like, you know what we should do, man? Let's go right around the island of Manhattan. We're going to be pumping the music and we're going to do like the circle line and we're going to go around Manhattan.
We'll fit.
And then they hit the bridge and the music went to
Oh my gosh. It was a tough scene. I mean, that was a complete disaster.
It's funny seeing all the people on land running.
Yeah.
Because they were so scared of that bridge driving right into Brooklyn.
Like that was,
The bridge, that boat. Sorry, that
how
boat
do you not know that your boat's not going to fit? It's pretty clear that your boat's not going to fit, especially when you have humans standing up on these ropes at the top. You think they'd yell down, "Hey, hombre, we're not going to fit, brother."
Or you think they'd be coming down.
Yeah.
Like if I saw, oh my gosh, we're going to crash into the bridge. Let me start climbing down.
They're all
I
holding.
wouldn't just
They're like,
be
we're going to take this bridge right on the chin right here.
I don't think they realized they weren't going to clear it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
you
disgrace.
see people drive into bridges all the time, right? Like there's a truck and
Yeah.
then it looks like a can of tuna where the top of the truck comes off and they just drive.
Right.
So, I mean, it is pretty...
Structurally sound.
Well, no, I was going to say like common. Not on boats.
Not on boats.
But on
yeah.
trucks and
on
stuff
trucks.
like
yeah.
that.
But I mean, like, you're the Mexican Navy. Like, you should know that you ain't going to fit underneath that bridge. It's not going to work out. Well, what another disgrace, right? Another disgrace by the Mexicans. But I mean, Coach, talk about badass Hispanics.
Oh, the Cubano?
Yeah.
He's no
the
dumb
Cubano.
Mexican
Yeah, he is not.
Captain.
No. Senator Marco Rubio, or Secretary of State Marco Rubio, I should say, kicking ass on the Senate floor. Up
You
and
have
down.
to show that video.
Up and down, Marco Rubio. Let's show this. Clip 4.
And I have to tell you directly and personally that I regret voting for you for Secretary of State. I yield back.
May I respond?
You may respond.
Well, first of all, your regret for voting for me confirms I'm doing a good job, based on what I know.
Well, that's
about
just
your
a
record
flippant
and what you
statement,
stand
Mr.
for.
Secretary.
Can I respond, Mr. Chairman?
You
Mr.
may.
Chairman?
I didn't
Okay.
ask.
Senator,
Question.
please let the Secretary have
I'd be
the floor.
happy to, but then I can respond to his.
Your time's up, Senator, and willfully used, I might add.
Well,
I can't respond to everything he said because much of these are untrue, but I'll go through a few. First of all, I'm actually very proud of the work we've done with USAID. For example, I don't regret cutting $10 million for male circumcisions in Mozambique. I don't know how that makes us stronger and more prosperous as a nation. I can go on. I mean, there's other things here. We spent $227,000 for Big Cat's YouTube channel from USAID. We spent $14 million for social cohesion in Mali, whatever the hell that means. So I can go on and on. I got the list here, and there's more. I didn't even bring the whole list. In the case of El Salvador, absolutely. Absolutely. We deported gang members, including the one you had a margarita with. And that guy is a human trafficker, and that guy is a gangbanger, and the evidence is going to be clear. In the days to come,
Mr.
you're going to see
Chairman,
who you went to
look,
defend.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. No.
Rubio.
And he just loses it. They just lose it. Like it is great. I have to say, little Marco is a little badass.
He is such a badass.
Every week we're talking about this badass kicking somebody's ass up and down.
Trump, because Trump is good with those one-liners. So when that guy's like, I regret voting for you, and he comes right out and be like, then that means I'm doing a good job.
Yeah.
Marco! He's
Showing
like,
him
I'm
up.
getting some on-the-job training working
Yeah.
under President Trump.
USAID could have given some of that money to Norwich Cheer. Yeah, Nikki, you got to put in a request for some of that cash, you know? You got to put in a request. Say that you have some asylum seekers on your team or something. You can get some of that cash.
Well, I mean, I have to say, it's too bad we didn't have more tugboats because Christiane's saying that they were stuck in a current. So maybe USAID should have more tugboats.
Yeah,
in
you
the
think
East River.
USAID would have some supplies to take care of that boat that's not going to fit under the Brooklyn Bridge. I mean, but Marco Rubio, I have to say, he's on a roll. He's on a roll. But if he's not brokering peace or working out trade deals or deporting illegal immigrants, he's on Congress floor kicking people's asses.
And you know what it is? Because he's telling the truth.
Right.
If he was lying and he was doing these whole word salads, as they call it,
Yep.
it'd be like, oh, you know, another day at the office with this BS. But because he's sticking with the truth, it's so hard for them to battle it.
Right.
Do we have the
100%.
other video with him
100%.
going with that Congresswoman Pramila Jayapala? Do we have that
Pramila
one too?
Jayapala? No, we don't have any Pramila Jayapala.
Well,
I don't even know who that is.
it's this other congresswoman where she goes to him, you revoke student visas. And he goes, yes, proudly. And we will continue to revoke student visas for people to come here to stir up trouble.
Yeah.
We're going to do more.
I mean, he's said that multiple times. Like, student visa is not like a right. You don't
Right.
just get a student visa. Whoever applies for a student visa, you don't just get it. Like you have to be a non-threat to the United States. You have to earn the student visa saying, I want to come here and learn, blah, blah, blah. You can't come and incite violence and spew anti-Semitism and do this and do that and think like, oh, well, I'm on a student visa. I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm an American. It's like, no, you're not an American. You're here on a student visa. And we could take that away and send you right back to where you came from. It's not a right, fellas. Just like healthcare. Oh, healthcare. Healthcare's a right. No. Healthcare's not a right either. So healthcare's not a right. And your student visa's not a right. You can't just come and do whatever the hell you think you want and think you get away with it. That's what these illegals are learning now. You can't just come into the country and think you're going to get away with it and everything's going to be fine.
Well, Carlos, not only the illegals learning it now, but did you see Congresswoman, what's her name? LaMonica McIver, who was beating up the ICE agent in Newark, New Jersey?
This was unbelievable.
She feels like she could do whatever the hell she wants to get away with it. You have to show
All
this
right,
video.
let's show
'cause
here,
it's
clip
crazy.
1.
Look,
So
there
there she
goes
is in the red.
She's beating up. Look at that stomach, man. She's like a lineman. She's like a running back,
She
running
is.
right through the ICE agents.
She's laying the blocks. And then we got another angle coming up here. Yeah, here's another angle of it. Look, roughing people up.
Look, she's just pushing that poor little ICE agent. DEI hire, I'm sure.
DEI, yeah, totally.
Because
Weak
she's
little
tougher
bitch.
than that ICE agent.
Yeah.
That was totally a DEI. She just like barreled right through that ICE agent. It's hilarious.
If you're laying blocks like that, you think you could just turn around and just like lay a fat slap right across the face? What do you think? How do you think that would happen?
That ICE agent was going to get their
if
butt
that guy
kicked.
just turned around and
It was
what's up?
probably a woman.
Oh God.
I'm serious. It was probably a
Hopefully it
DEI
was a
hired,
woman.
tiny little ass woman.
You really
an ICE
think so,
agent.
Coach?
Yes. What do you think? Come on, Carlos. We're living in the year of DEI. This is why Trump is like, we have to get rid of these people. So you have this congresswoman battle right through this ICE agent.
I don't know. That
She
seemed like a little
assaulted
small
multiple-
guy.
Huh?
He seemed like a little small Mexican, maybe. Yeah, maybe he was like a little. Maybe he's like, maybe if we can't beat him, join him. You know. Maybe it was something like that. Can't beat him, join him.
He's an undercover agent.
Right. He's
gonna
like,
go
I'm going to
undercover
sneak
with
my
ICE.
way in here and I'm going to deport my hombres one by one. Be like, I'm sorry, fellas. I'm getting too many great things here and I just can't give it up. Like, your ass is grass and I'm mowing it type of thing. That's what I think that's what it could have been.
Well, she's getting charged. The DOJ is charging her. But you know what? They need to have an expulsion hearing for her. Because the same way that they got
Right.
rid of George Santos, right? For a lot
George
less than beating up an
Santos.
ICE agent, I think it's time to go after her too.
Yeah.
If we can expel Republican congresspeople,
Right.
then we can expel Democrat congresspeople who beat up tiny little Mexican ICE agents.
I agree with you.
Allegedly, it's a joke.
Allegedly. I'm telling you, that guy looked like a little hombre that's like, if you can't beat him, join him. I'm
I
getting in
think
that
it's a
shit.
DEI hire.
I'm getting in there. But let's see what Trump had to say about this. Let's show clip 2 here.
All right.
Oh, give me a break. Did you see her? She was out of control. Those days are over. The days of woke. The days of woke. No, I didn't. The days of woke are over. That woman, I have no idea who she is. That woman was out of control. She was shoving federal agents. She was out of control. The days of that crap are over in this country. We're going to have law and order.
Good to have law and order.
I would love to see if there was a bubble over Mike Johnson's head. When Trump is like, I don't even know her. And then you just see Mike Tyson like sinking.
Yeah.
That's one of my, just one of the Congress. He looks like such a little puss.
Yeah.
You know? But you know what? That's the truth.
Right.
Trump is like, this is law and order. We're going to do the right thing now, and
Yep.
the truth will set you free.
Right.
And I believe that the veil is being lifted. People are waking up, and people are saying, you know what? That's true. No congressman should get away with just barreling through an ICE agent and running into a facility.
Yeah, you can't. You can't do that.
People weren't like, kneeling on rice and being abused.
Right.
They're in an ICE facility because they're here illegally. What the hell do you want?
Well, and that's the biggest thing. It's like, people got to understand, like, you're here illegally. You're here illegally, guys. That's the key word, illegal. You're here illegally. You're not supposed to be here. You're a registered U.S. citizen. And we can't be like, oh, we got to take care of our fellow human, our fellow brother. We can't even take care of our own. We have so many Americans on the streets homeless, so many Americans who are suffering in this country, veterans who went and fought for us that are suffering in this country. But you want us to take everybody in, open borders, there's no countries, no flags, blah, 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 communist city, and fucking think, Newsmax, that you can't, that we're going to take care of everybody? No way. No way. Enough is enough.
Well, Carlos, we don't want to take care of the genocide, the Afrikaans being killed in South Africa.
Yeah. We don't want to take care of them either.
Nobody wants to take care of.
Right. Listen, let's take care of the American people first. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
And that's why Trump told that president that, because he said, listen, you're giving us a mess. Us in Australia have to clean up your mess by taking all these people because you're literally killing them.
Yes.
Like, blessed are the peacemakers. We need to have peace in this country.
Right.
We need to have peace around the world so people can stay safely in their country.
Yep.
Like, it has to stop. It really has to stop. And Trump is saying the truth. And the veil is being lifted. And I really feel that him being at a 55 approval rating is showing that people are starting to wake up and see for themselves that the media has been lying to them, the Democrats have been lying to them, and things have to change.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, you have to take some ownership. And I'll tell you who else I still stand with. I don't care, week 2.
Week 2.
P. Diddy.
Oh, Coach.
I stand with...
Coach. Going right to the Diddy.
That trial continues to draw intense media attention, with testimony focusing on allegations of abuse, coercion, and Combs' use of his influence to orchestrate freak-offs and other abusive acts, right?
P. Diddy. Puff Daddy.
It's all people who were participating in the disgusting behavior. They were all participants. And what upset me the most is that, like, when she's sending P. Diddy text messages, his ex-girlfriend, I can't wait for the next freak off or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, he's abusive to her because these things are evil. They're disgusting. This isn't making love. This is like really an act of debauchery.
Right.
And then she said that she felt so empty inside. And the first thing I thought of is, because you're falling for Satan's empty promise.
Satan's
you feel
empty promise,
inside
actually.
because you're thinking, if I hang out with P. Diddy, maybe I'll feel good. If I have luxurious clothes, maybe I'll feel good. If I'm at a P. Diddy party, maybe I'll feel good about myself. And the bottom line is that there's only one person who can make you feel good about yourself, and that's Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. I'm sorry. Okay? Where is the sex trafficking in the
Jesus Christ, our Lord and
racketeering?
Savior. Yeah, it's true. It's
Where
true.
is it?
Yeah. Well, that's my biggest thing too. And listen, I'm not a P. Diddy, defender. Let me make that clear. I think he's a scumbag asshole, and that's just the truth. But, when the whole thing is P. Diddy sex trafficker, P. Diddy sex trafficker, P. Diddy sex trafficker, taking kids, blah, 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 this and that. And then you have this big trial and there's no evidence that he was sex trafficking. That's what we're saying now, Nikki. He's not being tried for domestic violence. He's being tried for trafficking. But where's the evidence of the trafficking? Because all I'm hearing is he beat up his girlfriend, which, yes, it's horrible. But, he had a bunch of sex parties. There's no rules against having sex parties. And, he's doing what? He's doing drugs? So what are you going to send him to life for? You have no evidence that he was moving kids in and out of the country and sex trafficking people. You have no evidence of that. There's that hasn't been brought to the table yet. So when you're having a trial for sex trafficking, but talking about beating up his girlfriend, well, yeah, I mean, it's an asshole move. You can't beat up your girlfriend, but at the same time, it's like he's not sex trafficking anybody.
Look, there's little significant developments to me in this second week of the trial. And I honestly think that it's powerful people who just want to take him down and create a distraction. And you know what I think? Some of those powerful people were involved in some of those freak-offs.
Oh, 100%.
That's what I think. And that's why they're like, we need to shut this guy down.
Yeah.
They needed an excuse to go to his house and get rid of all the tapes, because let's show one of the people he was hanging out with, Mr. P. Diddy.
Oh,
that
yeah.
I know for a fact he had a party for.
Oh, absolutely. We got to show this here. One of his close buddies here in clip 9. Good friend.
And I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this. But this is part of what is important about giving back.
We applaud you, and I want to apologize for not sweating, but I do this so much. I'm so cool. I just want y'all to see everybody I'm interviewing is sweating. I'm not even touching my brow. I'm so cool, and I want to apologize. I ain't trying to make you look bad or nothing like that, but I'm just so cool. We
T-shirt. I tell you, if he was wearing one of those fancy designer clothes, clothes he's designing, he'd be sweating just like me.
Listen.
He's so cool.
He's so cool.
He must be the coolest guy in Brooklyn jail right now.
Listen,
He's so cool.
But you know, we said it when he first got taken into prison, and it was right before the election, that I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't make it through the week or make it through the month, because that was what happened with Epstein. They killed that guy.
Yeah.
They hung his ass, and he was dead. So we have Epstein here, and I think Epstein just has a little more connections in Brooklyn maybe than Epstein did. I don't know, but I think that he is,
Well,
you know.
yeah, I'm sure P. Diddy has a lot more protection
Right.
in Brooklyn,
And-
where he's from, than Epstein did.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I heard rumors, allegedly, I don't know if it's true, but I heard Kamala used to go to those parties too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they all did. I'm sure a bunch of those Democrat big members were all going to those parties. He held Democrat fundraisers.
Yeah, he held huge fundraisers.
and he
Yeah.
was a huge spokesperson in 2008.
And it's all the Hollywood elite, the same people who were all Democrats.
Right.
Were at those parties are the same people. I'm telling you that he had a lot of dirt on a lot of people, and they needed to get an opportunity to go in his house and make sure they got rid of all the evidence.
100%.
That's what I honestly believe. And they're distracting everybody with terrible stories, which if you're going to go into Satan's empty promise, they're going to be terrible stories.
Right. 100. Yeah.
And until I see evidence, I don't think he's guilty at all. I just think he's a horrible human being, but you don't go to jail
You
for
don't go
having
to jail
orgies.
for life for that.
And let me tell you, they're men who beat up their wives, kill their wives.
Right.
And they do less prison time than P. Diddy.
Look
let's
at the
be honest.
juice.
Yeah, the juice was loose.
Look at the juice,
The
man.
juice was loose.
The juice got off. Killed his wife. Didn't just beat her up. Just said, I'm going to kill you now. And he got off. If the glove don't fit. And they wrote a book. Exactly. Listen, I mean, this is seeming like the judge is going to be like, I know it sounds like this guy's a real dick, but I'm sorry, not guilty, free to go.
You have to have evidence.
Right.
And that's the problem. They always put out lies, but they have no truth behind it. There's no evidence. And I think we're living in a time where the veil's going to be lifted.
100%. I agree with you.
And the distractions are going to have to stop. And
Yeah.
people are going to start being in tune with what is the most important thing, and that's God.
Yeah. No, I think you're 100% right, and we'll have to see what happens moving forward with this trial, because the New York Post has done a great job covering it, and we'll see what happens moving forward this week. But I seriously think Puff Daddy, we may be seeing him in street clothes coming this summer.
Well, a lot of people said I should be canceled because I'm not ready to hang P. Diddy in the town square. They're like, Mom, how?
Oh, who said it? Mom? Who said that?
Well, they just don't understand how I could stand with P. Diddy.
Yeah.
And, I don't stand with him.
Exactly.
But I just want to see the evidence.
Yeah, I'm not exactly. And I want to make that completely clear. I'm not a P. Diddy defender. I'm not saying what he did was right or what he did was justified. He's a dick and he's a bad person. But at the same time, you're charging him for sex trafficking. You're not charging him with beating up his girlfriend. And you can't change the charges now. You went to court for sex trafficking and now you're going to lose that case. You're going to lose it because you don't have the evidence. So he's going to be, we'll see him July 4th. He'll come out with a new song. Just like Kanye. Him and Kanye could do an album together.
That song. If you've heard Kanye's song, it's something else, I'll tell you.
It sure is. It sure is. Well, Coach, it was another great episode. It's great to have you back in studio this week.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in and making an effort with us to have a better show. Last week was tough. Shout out your Bowie, making everything sound great for us tonight.
Thank you so much,
guys.
Bowie.
Before we get going, you already know what time of the show it is. Get on your phones right now. Go follow us on social media. Go follow us on Instagram. Go follow us on X. Go follow us on Facebook. Go follow us on TikTok. Go follow us on Truth Social. We're on all the platforms. Make sure you guys
Rumble.
go follow us on Rumble. If you're watching on Rumble right now, hit that follow button. Hit that follow button. Make some comments, guys. We want to hear from you, right? Make sure you guys are leaving comments. Hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel. Hit that share button. Share it out. Get it everywhere. Make sure you tell all your friends to watch it. Even if they're raging liberal communists and they want to hate on us, send it to them too, because we want to hear from them. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. We had a very lively chat this evening. So thank you guys. Thanks, Christiane. Thanks, Nikki, for hanging out with us. Thanks, Dad, Scott Villa. We got some good chatters this week, and we'll see you guys back same time, same place next week. You already know. We'll see you next Wednesday. Everybody have a great rest of your evening. Have a great rest of your week. Coach, any final things?
No, just make sure to try to go to church, pray, and put your life in God's hands. Don't trust the government.
Also, yeah, make sure you guys are following us. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, and we're on Amazon Music as well. So if you guys want to listen to us in the car during your commuting hours, if you guys are driving anywhere, long road trips, make sure you guys are following us there as well and finding our podcast. You guys can listen to it as well if you can't catch the episode online. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We'll see you back same time, same place next week, next Wednesday. Thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your evening. Have a great weekend.